All right, so welcome everyone. It's good to have you, full house today. So maybe it might be an appropriate subject for today to discuss the question, what is meditation? To go into a little bit more detail about this topic. So meditation, even though everyone has heard of it probably, everyone knows what the word is, and we read about it in magazines or online, and we watch videos about it, read books about it, and so forth. And so having a lot of information at hand about meditation, if you Google meditation or Google what is meditation, you'll find a whole lot of different answers, and most probably end up confused at the end of the day, still not really knowing what meditation is. Well, first of all, it's something that needs to be experienced, and it's not something that you can know as you can know other things. Like, it's not a knowing that is based on a label that you have learned and then you think you know what it is. I heard that before, so therefore I know what it is. Oh, I have heard the definition of meditation before, so therefore I know what it is. Someone would ask a group of people that have heard a definition of meditation before, does anyone know what meditation is? Hands would go up. Yes, meditation is blah, 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 blah. That's the definition. Very often our knowing is limited to that. Because we can label something, we can add some word to an object or a feeling, and we think we really know what it is. So this is the first thing that comes to mind when talking about meditation. This is something that needs to be experienced for yourself. It is also a gradual training. And what we are training in meditation is, we're training to, for example, calm the mind, making the mind more quiet. There's a purpose for quietening the mind. The purpose is to see clearly, to understand the mind, to understand, to be more precisely, how the mind creates suffering for ourselves. And then when you understand that, it's still not enough, right? You can understand why there is a certain illness, what the cause of it is. That's still not it. You still need to take care of it. You still need to eat medicine. You still need to visit a doctor regularly for checkups and so forth. So just simply knowing that there is suffering in our mind and how the mind creates that suffering is not enough. You still need to know where that comes from and also how to let go of it. So we could say that meditation can be defined as anything that helps you to let go of suffering and stress. And since this is a gradual path, there are many different steps on that path to be taken. There are beginning steps, things that you do in the very beginning. And then eventually you don't do these things anymore, you do slightly different things. But it is always the same context, the same thing that we actually do from the very beginning to the end. It is all about letting go. So if you want to define meditation in a very short way, you can say it's letting go. Ajahn Chah famously said, if you let go a little, you have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you have a lot of peace. And if you let go completely, you have complete peace. So now letting go is the next problem that needs to be explained. What is letting go? Many people think that letting go is an act that gets rid of something. I need to let go of that, meaning I need to get rid of that. And people would ask questions very often, I can't seem to let go of my fear. That implies that they try to get rid of their fear. That is not letting go. As soon as we are resisting something, we're fighting against something, we're trying to get rid of something, you're not letting go. You're very attached. And as soon as you try to accumulate something, on the other hand, you try to get more peace, more happiness, more confidence, more this, more that, more spiritual experiences, again, that's not letting go. So whether you're getting rid of something or you're trying to get something, both is not letting go. So now that's a dilemma for ego. When we sit down, now what to do? How do I let go? I'm not supposed to get anything, and I'm not supposed to get rid of anything. So we're now talking about a state of experience that hardly anyone actually knows. It's the experience of, you can say in a simple word, being. We're all very familiar with doing, trying, accomplishing, dealing with, getting rid of, struggling, all these kind of activities. We're very familiar with activities. So when we sit down in a meditation room, maybe for the first time, some of you I see for the first time, then of course we can't help it. We kind of try. And that's not letting go. You're sitting here in this room, you're trying something. You try to focus on the breath, you try to focus on sounds, you try this or try that, you try to meditate, you're not meditating. In a similar fashion, we try to live our lives. We're not living it, we're trying. And this is because the mind has its kind of story about what you do. It tells you a certain story. If you do that well, then something will happen at the end of it. And then usually when what is supposed to happen is very attractive, then we're striving really hard to get there. But again, it doesn't apply for meditation again. It's not about trying to get anywhere else. It's not trying to become someone else with different feelings, different emotions. Cut a little bit of bits and pieces, cut them away from yourself, and add few other bits and pieces so you can be more completely you. That is not letting go. And it doesn't help either. That's what we all do all the time. We try to cut away bits and pieces of ourselves, and we try to add other bits and pieces to ourselves. So in the hope that one day we might be enough. This mistaken idea that the more you do, the more you have, the more you become, the more you can be eventually. But doing doesn't lead to being, it leads to more doing. And we all know that. This is nothing, it's not a matter of belief, not a matter of faith even. You know that. We all have been doing a lot. And to what does it lead? Doesn't it lead to more doing? Is there ever an end to our doing? Well, of course not. It's the nature of doing. It doesn't have an end. It leads to just more doing. Like breathing in leads to breathing out, and then breathing out leads to breathing in, and so forth. It just keeps going for a certain while we're in this form on this planet. But this is kind of the domain of the control freak, the ego that tries to do enough to get somewhere so it can be enough. And we call that then happiness. And this whole act of trying to find some happiness in the doing, we call it the pursuit of happiness. And it seems to be absolutely amazing. You have all the possibilities, and one day you are going to be happy. You just need to add a few more bits and pieces. And maybe so far you haven't added the right ones yet. But there's hope. And with hope, there's a problem. The problem of fear, the problem that you are still feeling not enough. And this is something we all learn, to not feel enough. To not value enoughness, actually. So sure, our minds are geared in that way. We are constantly trying to get somewhere. Maybe to the end of the meditation session. Maybe before you arrived, you couldn't wait to start the meditation. And then you sit down, it's like, okay, now let's start the meditation. And then 10 minutes in, you were like, oh God, when does this end? Always looking to the next. Again, not a matter of belief, it's a matter of observation. We all have that. We all had that 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 years ago. People were the same. Constantly looking to some distant point where it's supposed to all be good. And then maybe you don't find it in this life. There is still hope. Heaven. And then we fantasize about that. We don't know. Nobody knows what is heaven. Nobody really knows. But we have our ideas, and it's going to be awesome. Now that awesome is different for everyone. We all imagine some different kind of nice future, but we all do the same. We're all looking for the future, for salvation, the end of stress, the end of problems. But that's exactly not where you can find the end of stress. You cannot find it tomorrow or in 10 minutes. It's not possible. Where can you find the end of stress, if at all? Where could you find it? You're probably thinking the answer. Isn't it now? Where can you find life? Where is life? Where is it? Will it happen in 10 minutes? Are we all waiting for it? Is life beginning when the meditation class ends? How many times have you waited in your own life for life to happen? When you were 9 years old, you waited to become 16. 16, you waited for 18. 18, waiting for 21. 21, waiting for a job. Having a job, waiting for a good relationship. Having good relationship, waiting for children. Having children, waiting for them to leave the house. When they leave the house, waiting for them to come back. And then waiting for retirement also. Waiting for life. Waiting for something to happen, happiness. The good stuff. It's all happening tomorrow. And so we live, sometimes some people lead a life in which they never ever, just even one moment, become aware of life. Because it's this constant chase. Even when they do their last breath, they're still hoping to live later. They're still hoping for heaven to happen. And so if we have a huge blue ball full of people that are all living like that, then it looks like the way you know it looks like. All trying to be happy, actually. We're all trying the same thing here. We're all in the same thing. That's the great paradox, I feel. We're all trying to be happy. There's not one human being, not one animal on this planet that does not try to be more comfortable, more joyful, more happy. There's not one living being on this planet that tries to get out of stress. That does not try to get out of stress, That does not try to get out of misery. That does not try to get out of suffering and tension. And nobody is actively looking for pain as an end result. Everyone fears death. To everyone, life is the most precious thing and also the most overlooked, because we think it will happen at some point. And so what's the culprit? What is keeping us trapped in this kind of spinning wheel? It is thought, primarily thought. Think about your life right now. All the problems you've had, all the good times you've had, all the stuff that's yet to happen, as uncertain as it is. All the things you're hoping for, all the things you're afraid of. The whole story, the whole shebang, the whole thing. And now just stop thinking. Just pretend you could stop. Where would your problems be? Just suppose you have no thought. There is no word in your head right now. What would be there? Would you suddenly be gone like poof, like a cloud, and you're suddenly gone? Or would you still be here, just in a different way? You can pretend. It's not easy to just stop to think. That requires practice and training, consistency. But what if there was no words in your being right now? Now that is a meditative state. That's where the magic starts. And that's where it develops. You cannot do proper meditation practice that leads you deeply if your mind is just full with stuff and desires and trying. You see, even this disease of trying to find yourself tomorrow, it can even creeps into certain meditation techniques that are out there. Visualize yourself rich. Visualize yourself whatever. It comes all out of the sense of, I'm not enough yet. I must manifest more. More. If you add more, then one day you will feel enough. You will not. It's a trick, it's a trap. You can have all the things you would ever want. Let's say you have superpower and you can manifest everything you want right now in an instant. You would still not be happy. Do you see the problem? That's why some of the meditation techniques that only work with manifesting things, the desire-based meditation techniques, they don't really lead to an end of stress. They just lead to more stuff. Stuff doesn't make you happy. Other people don't make you happy. Situations don't make you happy. Happiness is inside of yourself. There's something you can discover, and it pops up when the noise is gone. When the background static of I need, I must, I should, I must, I need is gone. Just for a few seconds you will start to feel, wow, that's liberating. No more noise. It's like the radio has been running your whole life long, constantly giving you news, constantly telling you about what you're doing right now and where this might lead you. And suddenly someone turns it off. Chuck. And for the first time you notice, wow, silence. And at first it's unusual, but then it becomes really nice. And that's the moment when you recognize you don't have to add stuff to yourself to feel happy. You don't have to add anything to you to make you more happy. If you don't add anything, you don't take away anything, you just leave it. Leave yourself alone. That's when you start to heal. You do it every night. You go to deep sleep, right? You're leaving yourself alone. The ego gets out of the way for a few minutes, like 30 minutes or so at a time. Your ego just completely is knocked out. There is no thought. And that's what the body needs to recover. You have to go so your body can heal. You do it every night. You can rest and you wake up hopefully refreshed. There is no greedy, needy voice in your head that never has enough. It's nice. It's just natural rest. You can enter that state by practicing meditation. Maybe not in the beginning, not as deep sleep, but just as restorative. As soon as you rest without thought for long enough, that's where the magic happens. You just need to stay in that. So that's what we aim for at the first kind of step in meditation. To first of all, just become aware of your body. The most neglected thing, actually. It's a very physical culture, but we don't pay attention to our body. We pay attention to images of bodies, not the body. When you feel your body, you might feel like there has to be change. I need to change something. That's how most people feel their bodies. Just, I need to change this, I need to change that. Don't believe me? Sit naked in front of a mirror for an hour and just feel your body. And be okay with it. It's for some people the most difficult thing. Just looking at yourself honestly in a mirror. And being naked in front of it, meaning complete honesty. That's your body, it's like this. Do you like it? Do you appreciate it? Or who has taught you not to appreciate it? Where have you learned not to appreciate it? So that's the first kind of thing, learning to appreciate your physical existence, to fill your body with attention. Your body is grateful for that. Every moment of clear, undivided, kind attention that you pay to your cells, your body, your system, is deeply healing. So that's how we start. By the way, that is not just in meditation, it includes every physical activity in life, eating, sleeping, exercising. That's all a gift that you give to your body, saying thank you for keeping you alive and healthy and well, for providing a vessel for spiritual, how do you want to call it, like spiritual path or ascending spiritually, or whatever word we can use, for spiritual practice. The most important thing in a human being's lifetime is your spirit. Your spiritual health, your mind. It runs the body. It makes you speak. It makes you do. It makes you talk. It makes you go out there and be active. It comes from the mind. If there is no mind, then you just have a corpse, right? A corpse is quite inactive. It doesn't do anything much. You can't offend it. Corpses don't go to war with each other. They're pretty peaceful. If you add a mind to a corpse, then it becomes quite dramatic, according to how dramatic the mind is. It's almost like, a suit in itself is harmless. A suit doesn't do anything. If you put a person into the suit, then the suit goes here and there and does all kinds of things. If you put a mind into a body, then the body walks around and does all kinds of things. Yeah.
It looks at other people and says, those are the others. They're scary. Let's build a wall. Or those are the bad guys. We are good, of course, because we're meditators, right? So we're doing well. It's the other unconscious guys out there. Oh my God, so unconscious, so mindless, just always on their phones all the time and stuff. But we are totally aware and above all that. So we start to separate. We start to look through our senses, hear through our ears, and start to compare and start to judge and start to separate and divide. Who does all that? The mind. So if that mind has no peace, it will manifest in action that is not peaceful and not leading to peace, not helpful, not leading to benefit, leading to more problems endlessly. So that's how important it is. So many people say, let's change the world, let's make it a better place. I totally agree. And it has to start within your own mind. This is your gift to the world. You are the gift that you give to this world. You are like an art gallery. Your mind is like an art gallery. What does your mind have to offer this world? And then we take a look inside and we say, not much just yet. Just a whole lot of thoughts, a whole lot of insecurities. That's where spiritual practice starts. You see, wow, I don't want to suffer like this anymore. I want to get out of suffering. And I want to free the world from my stress. That's how we change the world. You free it from your misery. You free it from your complaining. You free it from your judgment. Free it from your limited little mind that just can only repeat what it has learned to repeat. Go beyond that. See, there is more to you than just that little voice in your head. That's not who you are. So once your mind becomes more quiet, then it's more easy, of course, to see who you really are. And it's quite beautiful. Quite a surprise. And that is what meditation invites you to see yourself. Not to see the stuff that goes on in your head. That's not yourself. Not to see the body and how it moves. That's also not yourself. But to see something that goes beyond these things. Something that doesn't have to push and pull. That doesn't have no agenda with the world. It just gives it space. This is a very powerful expression of kindness and love. If you give someone space, if you allow people to be who they are. Again, imagine everybody in the world would allow everyone to be as they are. Fully realizing, well, I'm responsible for my own happiness. And I can share that with others. I'm not responsible to fix other people, to change them. But I can change myself. And if everyone would be doing that, the world would be a nice place. But this is a would and an if. It is not like that. But still, your freedom from suffering and stress has a huge impact on your surrounding. That's the reason why we meditate. We're training the mind to go beyond suffering for the well-being of all living beings. That includes yourself. May all beings be happy, and may all beings be free from suffering. That's the motivation. Where do I start?
Should I make you more happy? Or you? Or you? No, I have to start with myself. And then I don't have to make anyone else happy, actually. That's the nice thing about it. Once you're happy, you don't have to go around trying to make people happy. You share yourself. And if you share a happy self, good, nice. It's really simple. It's really simple, straightforward stuff. Calming the mind so you can see clearly. And once you see clearly, letting go of stress, of suffering, of all tension, all resistance that's there towards this moment. So that's all that comes to mind for today. Are there any questions?